All Hallows Dour, a Sergeant Dour... All Hallows Dour, a Sergeant Dour story, written and read by Reese Mann. Oh, it's you. How disappointing. Still, I suppose you're better than no company at all, unless your name happens to be Sir Glastonbury Fothergill Smythe. If it is, then please would you make suicide your top priority. Cheerfulness aside, I'm not a very happy bunny. In fact, I could not be further from being a happy bunny. I was indeed a most unhappy bunny, as if someone had stolen all my carrots. Or as if my name was Roger and I had been framed. Enough with the rabbits. I only like them when they're served in a pie. So I was not very happy, and I'll tell you for why. Tomorrow is Hallow-cunting-ween. Halloween is one of those festivals, I use the term in its very loosest sense, that the world could really do without, like Christmas. Presents are all very well, but having the entire family round is about as necessary as the existence of Noel Edmonds. Last Christmas, for example, my mother decided to make an appearance, how she got out of Holloway I do not know, dressed as a mince pie. She later revealed that to add verisimilitude to the costume, she had also stuffed herself with mincemeat, rather like the geese they use stuffed to make foie gras. I'm surprised it didn't make her nauseous. I know that if I were to stuff myself with mincemeat, I'd start chundering like the Chatsworth fountain. And bank holidays. I seem to spend mine stuck in traffic. Every bank holiday, Esme decides to trek over to Weston-super-Mare, the woman's more barking than a noisy Jack Russell, so that we can enjoy the beach. By the time we reach the beach, all the tourists have gone, and the sand is strewn with empty bottles and serviettes and sandwich wrappers and grandparents' dentures and picnic blankets and small children and used condoms. Though they may have flown from the nudist beach a few miles up the coast, one would have thought that wearing a condom would contravene the rules of nudity. No matter. But Halloween is the worst of them. I fail to see the point of dressing up as some sort of evil, ghoulish figure and then knocking on people's doors hoping for sweets or the opportunity to play some sort of utterly hilarious trick on them. Generally, I borrow a spare child-eating mastiff from the RSPCA to guard my front door on the night, just to keep the little bastards out. If the RSPCA have run out, the NSPCC usually have one or two spare. However, this year, neither organisation had any child-eating mastiffs available. Apparently our beloved Prime Minister has taken a fancy to them and has snapped them all up, which, incidentally, is what mastiffs do to children. Therefore, I will have to resort to using tripwire as my father's machine gun from the souvenir stand on Eastbourne's renowned geriatrics-only pier, and my somewhat limited skills at Feng Shui. Or do I mean Taekwondo? On the morning of Halloween, I was approached by a breathless Miss Blenkinsop. "Sergeant! Sergeant! Sergeant!" she cried. "Ah, Miss Blenkinsop, I see you're in your Halloween costume already." "Certainly not, Sergeant. This is from Marks and Spencer's." "Is that not where most people buy their costumes from? Some of the stuff in there frightens the life out of me." "I beg your pardon, Sergeant." I said, "Some of the stuff in there frightens the life out of me." Old Mother Blenkinsop adjusted her hearing aid. "Would you say that again?" "Some of the stuff in there frightens the life out of me." "I thought that was what you said. I don't see what Cousin Ethel has to do with this, though." The woman is clinically insane. I intend to have her certified for Christmas. Either that or I'll buy her a hearing aid that works, rather than the one that she bought for 50p from George Buckingham, landlord of the Crippen and Ripper public house, who is as reputable as the most disreputable person you can think of. "Miss Blenkinsop, what do you want? I'm a very busy man." "Oh, bollocks, Sergeant, you're never busy. You just prance around like some sort of superior twat, telling people off for tiny little insignificant things. In fact, that's what I call Colonel Saunders's minuscule, teensy-weensy little flesh prodder." I shuddered an enormous shudder. "Now, I want you to find my pumpkin." "Your pumpkin?" "I said pumpkin, didn't I?" "Yes, you did." "Therefore I meant pumpkin. If I'd meant something else, I would have said babies, or flapjack, or nutsack, or elf, or drawers, or slapper, or Davina McCall, or—" "Thank you, Miss Blenkinsop, I get the gist." I heard a thud, and saw something manifest itself on the ground between her legs. "This pumpkin, would it be the one that is between your legs?" Miss Blenkinsop looked down. "Oh, yes, it is. I was wondering where that had got to. It must still have been up there. The vicar and I were having vegetable time, you see." I shuddered again. Miss Blenkinsop shot me one of those "Are you epileptic?" glances. "We were having such fun," she continued. "The vicar really enjoys being marrowed." I gulped. "I bet he does," I said before spluttering with laughter. Roughly 3 hours and 47 minutes later, give or take a few bottles of whiskey, there was a knock at the door. I got the machine gun ready. I cautiously approached the door as if it were about to explode, and no, exploding doors, funnily enough, are not commonplace up the Jacksy, but nothing is impossible. I opened it with my teeth as both my hands were occupied, one with holding the machine gun, the other was locked in a preliminary feng shui move. Outside my door were children, dressed as something so frightening I buckled at the knees like Bambi on one of his more unstable days. That's right, they all of them were dressed as Anne Robinson. The end.